Hey, what's up, guys? This is your girl, Ashley Wills, aka The Life Guru, coming at you with another fun filled Thanksgiving story. But I probably would say this one is a little bit more on a serious note because, unlike the other vlogs, the other ones, I was a little kid, so things was more fun and animated, but now I'm a bit of an adult now. So man, so this one was again another completely random Thanksgiving. So what ended up happening was I had the worst breakup, and this is probably this was my first and worst breakup experience ever. So bad I had to go back to my mommy's house with my tail tucked between my legs. So temporarily I was staying with my mom. Um, my other brother, my middle brother, he was living with his girlfriend at the time. But my baby brother, he was still in the house. So it was me and my baby brother. Now, I'm 10 years and 15-year old than my brother. So, you know, very humbling experience sleeping in your baby brother's room. Very humbling experience, let me tell you. So, and then too, the thing was this was a time where it was, I just wasn't a happy person back then. I really wasn't. So all I wanted to do was chill, and this was one of those type of Thanksgiving situations or experiences I just didn't want to be bothered. But my mom was like, you know what? I want us to have Thanksgiving dinner as a family. First of all, uh, I had 3 jobs at the time. 3 jobs, y'all. And my plan for Thanksgiving was to just pass out all day and enjoy my one and only off day and just sleep. But my mom was, you know, going through her thing where she was getting older. We were all older. We were all adults, and you know, unlike that particular time, I usually wouldn't be at the house like that. So my mom was like, yeah, let's come together as a family and let's do a Thanksgiving dinner. She said she would call my brother Tyler and be like, hey, let's, come over so you can enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. I'm like, and this is Thanksgiving Day, y'all. This is Thanksgiving morning. And I'm like, first, listen, unlike all the other stories, my other 2 stories, um, store situations has changed. So now, on the day of Thanksgiving, a lot of times the stores is not even open. If you have found a store that was open, you gotta go out to Timbuktu somewhere and try to find it. But in the inner city and in the particular area my mom was living in at the time, ain't no stores are gonna be open on Thanksgiving. So we had to literally use whatever she had in the house, which was some leftovers, some other stuff that she, had in the freezer, and make a Thanksgiving meal that way. You know what I'm saying? So it was not a traditional Thanksgiving spread. Let me put it this way. But my mom was so adamant she wanted to make this happen. So hey, I get up, help her with everything. My baby brother, he actually loved to cook and bake himself as well too. So he helps in. My mom did not have, and this time my mom is in the house, so my mom's kitchen wasn't too big. It was a little tight, so we literally only like 2 people tops can be in that kitchen, and even then that was a little bit of a struggle. So, but we're knocking it out. Now our menu was it was like a whole chicken that she had in the freezer, baked beans, a little box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. She had some leftover biscuits, which was like 2 of them. Can of green beans mixed with greens or whatnot. And I can't remember a lot of the stuff because this was the thing. I had allergies. My allergies was just forming at the time, so a lot of the food I couldn't even mess with. I was very limited. Unlike when I was a kid, I could eat anything. So a lot of foods, this was a point in time where my allergies was flourishing. So certain foods, just getting the smell of it or being around it would start agitating my skin. I'll start getting itchy. So there were times where I couldn't be in the kitchen. I'm trying to think, what else did she make? But that's the stuff I can remember offhand. There was no stuffing, no cranberry sauce, and then a lot of stuff we had. It was like one can of this, one little box of it, so it wasn't that much. But when I looked over my mom, she just smiling and looking at me and my brother Tyrese, my baby brother, and then Tyler. He ends up showing up a little later, and just seeing us all in the kitchen together. One thing, um, about moms. It and a lot of for my fellow um, older adult kids, that are adults out there. When you see your mom go so hard to see her children reunited under one household, working together, guys, you have no idea how much that means to your parents. And my mom very rarely got the chance to enjoy all her children under one household, working together. It was so rare because by the time I hit adulthood, I was doing my own thing, and my brother Tyler, same thing. So it brought a smile to her face. I mean, I think it's been years since I've seen my mother smile like that. And and then again, we brought up the capping. We were just capping on a little bit bowl of baked beans, and we was like, "Mama, you got like two grown boys." And but what helped was I can only eat so much, so that helped a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then I had a TV dinner. I was gonna eat that, but it definitely it was wonderful to experience that time with my brothers and working together. And that was the first and only time where we came together to cook Thanksgiving dinner. Not only just depend on our mother to do everything, do all the cooking. No, we all came together as a family. Well, Tyler, he showed up a little later. He showed up after the food was done. But me and Tyrese, worked together and got this meal going. And it was fun. My mom at the time, she did have a decent dining room table, so just to see everything all, again, we wasn't prepared, guys. So may have been a couple mishmash plates in there, and some plastic utensils, and some foam cups and some plastic cups. Hey, but them mishmash Thanksgivings be on point sometimes. But everything smelled really good. I can't remember, what did we have? Oh yes, we had honey buns for dessert. My mom had a box of honey buns, and when you put them in a microwave, oh, if you guys haven't had buttered honey buns, you're missing out. That's when you take the little honey bun and you put like a little bit of butter on that bad boy and sprinkle maybe a little bit of brown sugar on top. Or you can do the whipped cream. Put a little whipped cream with the brown sugar, put in the microwave, let that sucker get a little soft and gooey. You can have that sucker with some ice cream, some vanilla bean ice cream. Bad. So that was our dessert. And it was so cool though. We sat around the dining room table, and my mom was just head over heels so happy, because unlike the other stories, I think my mom of course was in her young 20s when we were doing all that stuff with the other vlogs. So now fast forward, my mom is like in her 50s now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, was it late 20s, and or 29 or 30 or whatever may have you at that point. And my brothers, they're young adults, so it was very symbolic. So I would say this, guys, you know I know everybody has different experiences with family, Lord knows I do, but I will say very early on, I believe that a good family structure is important to be introduced into your children's lives as early as possible, and so on and so forth, because you know you got to keep that chain strong. Family units, keep that those bonds, keep them strong, guys. Now that would definitely not happen now because me and my family, I'm not close to my family and vice versa. So, but I will say a lot of these tarnished family bonds can be easily avoided. One, if the instructions of structure is put placed into the family unit itself. If you don't put in structure, as in saying, hey, Family comes first. You're always there for your family, and there has to be equal support as well too. So not one individual always being there for their family and so on and so forth. No, that family also needs to support that individual as well too. Equal family support and understanding. So but yeah, it was cool. It was cool little quickie meal and all that stuff, and we talked a little bit, and then my brother Tyler, he came along, and it was nice. Now the one thing though, what was it? I think what changed the game was my brother impromptu brought his girlfriend to the dinner, and I think my mom really wanted it to be just us. So I will say this: if you are dating someone, make sure you get your mama's permission first, because y'all sometimes some mamas don't be playing that now. So when they want Thanksgiving meals and dinners, they want it particularly family. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. But other than that, it was really cool though. It was really cool. It was fun. So yeah, guys, that's definitely a decent fond memory, because it was one thing being under the same household, because I just had these little memories of seeing my brothers when they were just like little high, just little teen little beanstalks running around with their big heads, and and then just to see them, grow up to young men. That's what got me. That's definitely what got me. And just to see images of them running around the house and their little tidy whities and playing video games and stuff, and then just to see them come in those same doorways as men, it was truly symbolic. So yeah. All right, guys, till the next one.